Buddy, how you doing? I figured I would just make a little kind of a chatty video today, I guess. Been in a lot of conversation with people about my other job, which is delivering pizzas. And for some reason, people seem to think that pizza delivery requires that you get a 17 to 20% tip. Now, for anybody who doesn't understand what tip is or what tip stands for, is to ensure proper service. So, the expectation of that tip is how these people understand that they're expected to give good service when they're providing you a service as a wait staff, delivery driver, or what have you. Now, there are certain industries that have always been tips. That's the waitresses, waiters in restaurants, and pizza delivery. There's other ones that get tips and stuff. I'm really not thinking about those right now. But both of those industries right now, as far as I know, we get paid, as a general rule, half of minimum wage as a start. Now, if you've been in for a few years, you've probably got a higher minimum hourly pay. That's what it is. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. I like fast food. I love fast food. I live on it. I work security. I do this 32 hours in a weekend. I do 2 double shifts on Saturday and Sunday, and that's what I'm actually doing right now, being a security guard. So, this job here, I get paid an hourly wage, and that's what it is. I don't get tips or anything like that. I sit here, and I'm comfortable. I pretty much can watch the cameras, which right now this factory is closed, and there's nobody here. So, I go around to do my checks. I come back, I sit, and I can watch videos or whatever. It's just what it is. It's a low stress job, and I like it. So I work a lot of hours because I sit here and this is what I do. Now, that said, through Monday through Friday, I deliver pizzas. I deliver for Pizza Hut in Portland, Indiana. So if any of y'all around Portland, Indiana, or ever come to visit Portland, Indiana, please stop by our Pizza Hut. It is a wonderful store. We've got a dine-in. We've got a little salad bar, and I know people from all over the state come to ours because it is a really good bar. Our wait staff, they're awesome people. We have a lot of young people that work there. I'm talking people that's in high school. There's only a handful of us that's considerably older. I think I'm the oldest one there, and I like driving, and that's what I do. And my expectations when I go to a delivery is about 10%. And that means for every $10 that is spent on food, $1 would come to me. And you would hand me an extra dollar for every $10. Now, as prices go up, those $10 pizzas become $20 pizzas, the tip automatically goes up. So my $1 becomes $2. You order $50, it becomes $5. You order $30, it becomes $3. You order $25, $2.50. It's not hard math. It's not a difficult system. And I go home, and at the end of the week, I make roughly $15, $16 an hour. Now, as somebody who's driving their own car and they're doing all this stuff, the way I look at it is if you don't like that system and you don't like how that works, then you're in the wrong job. Because going out here, going to work on somebody else's, on the expectation that somebody else, as in the customers, are going to be paying you a whole lot of extra money. They get a $10 order, and you expect them to drop you a $10 tip. Now, I've always been of the thing, if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to pay the delivery fees, then you need to get your butt out of your chair and go down to the store and pick it up yourself. Because there is no expectations of tips on carryout. They do it. You can do it. And what they do is they divided them up amongst the kitchen staff. And the kitchen staff are non-tip people normally. But it gives them that little something, thank you for stocking the cups and the straws so I can have my drink quick, instead of having to wait for somebody to have to go find a cup and a straw. That's what those tips are for. But the tip industry has gotten out of control. DoorDash, they're going out and they look at their orders, and a lot of people are saying, I just don't take an order if they don't tip. Well, just because they're not tipping on the card doesn't mean they're not going to tip you when you get there. But this whole industry has become this thing about tips and super high tips, and because there's not getting super high tips, they're getting mad and eating people's food and throwing stuff around and acting bad. And the thing is, it's making people rebel against people like me that has no expectations of anything more than maybe 10%. Now, me, the way I operate by the most part, though, is, it's a variable. I got a pizza that I've delivered to this one little lady, sweet little lady. I mean, sweet lady. She's living in one of these. It's like an apartment you live in by yourself. It's all the doors are on the outside, and basically, you have a nurse that stops by and helps you once in a while. So she's on a fixed income. She orders a pizza like once a month. It's like $10.18 or something like that. It's not a very big pizza. And she'll be like, keep the change. You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm super happy with somebody saying, keep the change. Especially from our elderly citizens that are having a hard time struggling on their own, because they're making maybe an entire month what I make in a week. So I'm good with that. You want to tip, keep the change. I'm perfectly happy with that. Now, for those of you out there making $100,000 and you want to place a $100 order, and then you're going to hand me $101 and say keep the change. You know what? You gave me a tip. You told me to keep the change. I'm going to be happy with that. I'm going to leave. Now, is that normal? No. Normally, if you got a $100 order, what's the standard? $1 per $10. So that means that would be a $10 tip. Now, it cost me the same whether I'm taking that one lady her $10 pizza or I'm taking you your $100 order of pizza. You see where I'm going with this? So, I'm going to take whatever. I'm going to be happy with it because it is all percentage. Now, that said, there's a standard out there people are talking about where they're saying 17 to 20% is supposed to be normal now. No, who said that? How did that happen? Why? Everybody's like, you're back in 1985, blah, blah. No, I'm not. 1985, 1990, the 2000s, and now 2024 is the exact same standard of 10% to ensure proper service. I, all the time, tip more than that. I order $30 worth of pizza, and I will give easily, 10. I'll throw them a 5. Different amounts. I'm not always consistent. I'm not always that rich, but I'm throwing more than the industry standard of 10% because I want them to feel appreciated. Now, if they're coming at me wanting more than that because they feel like they're somehow entitled to 20% of the order and things like that, no. You're in the wrong business. Get out of it. Go home and stay. Go get yourself a regular job. That's why I do this job too. I don't understand people's mentality where you have to do for me. Whatever happened to the mentality of what can I do for you? But anyway, this is a little bit of a rant because of the tipthepizzaguy.com. It's a group that is on Facebook that is just losing their mind with me because I've been arguing because they put a board up with, it's a shame board of people who tip. And this lady, or I don't remember as a person, it was a $126 order, and I said the normal tip for that would have been $112 out of the $126 would have been $12 or $13. And they're going, oh no, it's supposed to be $25, blah blah blah. No, it's not. Normal tip for that, for a $126 order. I'm sorry, I think it was 112 and some change, if I remember right, because my math would be off if I said that. Anything else? Anyway, I'm just trying to think on the cusp here. Throwing this here as a reason we got into the conversation is on this shame board. They're saying that person didn't tip right, so they put their name up on this shame board for not tipping when they, in fact, per industry standard, they were real close. They gave a $10 tip. I don't know what the circumstances were. Maybe they were a rowdy group, maybe they were jerks. But then again, maybe the waitress came by twice and gave them drink refill. I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances were. I just know that they decided to take these people and put them on blast because they tipped only $10. Now that said, there was 2 more names on there where they had placed an order and they put 0 tip. Those people were wrong. If you go to a place that is normally a tip industry thing, like waiters, waitresses, and they have wait staff or barkeeps, stuff like that, those people are tipped. They are tipped. So, but I don't know. I don't know what people are wanting. I know you guys, my watchers, my people who see my stuff, you're kind of a do-it-yourselfer type of guy. And that's what this whole channel is about. Stuff that happens in a garage. Sometimes you're just sitting around drinking a beer. Sometimes you might be working on underneath the hood of a car, or you might be just sitting there just talking politics. And right now we're talking about tips. So let us know down in the comments what's your expectations when you order something. And those of you who work in the industry like I do with delivering pizzas, or if you're a waitress or something like that, what are your expectations of receiving? To me, just my thoughts is, if you're expecting more than the 10%, you're being greedy. Now, am I trying to shame you for wanting more money? No. I want more money. I always want more money. More money, more of the green, a little bit more lettuce in the hand. I'm good. Baby, bring me the money. Show me the money. But the thing is when you're out there doing an industry of service, where you're trying to ensure that you're giving these people proper service so that you get the proper tip, your expectation should only be 10%. That's the only traditional thing. Some people are saying it's from 1985. Well, 1985, there was a lot better people out there. Just saying. Y'all have a good day. See y'all next time.